Welcome to another LEGO Star Wars 2014 set review. This time it'll be set 75040 General Grievous' Wheelbike. From ages 7 to 12, it contains 261 pieces and retails for $24.99 in the US. It contains 2 new minifigures, both are exclusive to this set. And before I go over those minifigs and show them to you in detail along with the set, I'm going to review a few different sections of the set so that you can better understand everything you'd like to know and determine whether or not you would like to buy it or not. The first area is the minifigs, and on a scale of 1 to 10 on all of these, the rating for the minifigs is an 8. I could have gone probably at a 9 on this one, but I go with an 8 only because General Grievous and Obi-Wan are both re-releases of minifigs, and Obi-Wan is just a bit more detailed in the 2012 version. You can't really expect anything else from the set itself, but I think that I can't go over an 8 because the minifigs are just re-releases of some old ones, which I'll show you the old versions here shortly. The rest of the set, the wheel bike itself, I rate a 9 out of 10 because it is such an improvement over the original version. It is in every way 100% better, and it just looks great and very accurate to the movie, so I'm very happy with that. The building experience, I give a 7 out of 10 though, because it gets very repetitive because of the wheel tracks on top and the legs, and it doesn't take too long to build for a $25 set. It does have the correct piece amount, being slightly over 10 cents a piece, but that will be a value for money review. So parts, I give a 9 out of 10 because it does include some pretty neat parts, the blue colors, the helicopter wing pieces, and the wheel itself, the clear wheel. I really like that. Some curved pieces, some Technic pieces, and you couldn't really ask for any other cool pieces except for maybe some new ones. So I give that a 9 out of 10. Value for money, again, is a 9 out of 10 because when I got home with it, I was really happy with it. I won't give it a 10 out of 10 because it would have to be around 300 pieces, just generally have like 100 more pieces than it'd have to have like 100 more pieces than 10 cents a piece. But since it's slightly over the 250 piece mark, I'd have to go at 9 because that's just how it goes. But I'm very happy with it, so value for money is 9 out of 10. Playability is an 8 out of 10 because it does roll, but the reason why it's only an 8 is because it doesn't have any spring-loaded missiles, which they probably could have easily put on this set. I'm not really too happy with the flick-fire missile it does come with, which is probably why most of these areas are lower than what you'd expect. The overall look, though, is a 9 out of 10 because I really like the way it looks. I can't go at a 10 quite just because, I don't know, I just don't really feel like putting it at as high as it can go. Overall, though, I give it a 9 out of 10 because I like the way it looks, the minifigs that come with it, and that's a little high as far as average goes for the set, but I really liked it. I took it home, and was very happy with the minifigs and the set, and I think you will be too. I'll just jump right into the minifigs here. I'll show you General Grievous first. He has the same exact body and arm pieces as the Clone Wars version that came in the Malevolence and his Starfighter, but this time it has white printing instead of tan printing, which I like a lot better because it's much more accurate to the movie version, and the printing on the head is a lot better because it really spooks you. The lightsaber is to green to blue. You can move the arms pretty much any way you want. Like that. That looks pretty cool. You can do that with both arms. And that looks like he's attacking Obi-Wan. That's really cool. And now to show you the 2011 version, 2010. So this one is slightly different. Just the color, the printing is pretty much the same on the body, and the arms, all 4 have printing. They're just mirrored images because they're on opposite sides. The eyes I like on the newer version better because they don't look as big like most of the Clone Wars versions do. so it looks more accurate, and I'm really liking the updated version of him, which definitely needed to happen. The next minifig is obviously Obi-Wan, and this set does not include his lightsaber. It only has the Magna Guard staff and his blaster that he used to shoot Grievous. Spoiler alert. Here is Obi-Wan himself in the 2012 version. It looks pretty much the same, except for the body is a little bit more detailed in the new one, and of course the legs are printed, which they're doing on almost every minifigure now, except for the viewing pilot. Grr. There's the back. And the older version has the back of the head printing as well as the new version. So the head is exactly the same too. So that's pretty much it for Obi-Wan and the rest of the minifigs in the set. Standard Obi-Wan, and he would be great as a Episode 3 representation of the minifig, so you can put him in line with the newer versions, especially like the 2013 Episode 2 version of him. They would go great next to each other. Now onto the set. The wheel bike itself is fantastic. I really like the set. That's why I gave it a 9 out of 10, even though some of the areas were rated a little bit lower, so none of them were 10. And it spins very well. I like the way it spins, and especially how the wheel in the middle is big and it's clear. I like the way that looks. And to get a closer view, here's the inside, and you could see that little control panel right there, that purple one. I really like that piece. That's a new piece to this set. I really like as well the cockpit that General Grievous sits in. That's another thing I need to show, and just wait a second so that I can put his minifig in place. And I'm pretty sure that here you can see it. You put his feet on this piece here, which could be hard to do. Yeah, and then he sits perfectly in there like that, and it looks great, especially because it's such an improvement over the seat that came in the 2005 version. I'm really liking the seat as well as the whole entire set. The side panel is light blue, some sort of new shade of blue that's not new. It's not new. But this piece on top of the wheel is just a repeated step over and over again. It says like times how many ever there are here, like 16 or whatever. So that gets pretty annoying, but it's not too bad. That's the side or the front of it. That's what it looks like with him sitting in it. And this side has the two orange blasters that don't shoot or don't do anything, most like the display pieces, or most likely the cannon has just some display. And this right here is a flick fire missile, and it works pretty well compared to some of the other flick fire missiles. And when you flick it, it actually doesn't hurt, believe it or not, because for some reason it's an easier mechanism to handle, or it doesn't stick as much. This piece, or this area right here, does seem a little bit awkward and stands out a bit, but I like the way this piece kind of sticks out. It gives it some character. And so does this back piece right here, which is connected by two pins there and there. The legs too also tend to fall down because of the feet and how they're on a ball bracket like the Bionicle pieces or characters. So they don't stand up too well, and they're pretty tough to get in. The blaster does sit behind Grievous' seat, and he does tilt back into position. This is it in standing mode, which for display looks really good too. But to put it in rolling position, you would have to scoot this up like that, and then this one goes up right behind it. But then you'd have to point the feet backward, and I'm just going to do the same thing. This comes off a little bit. So do that with that side, and push it down, and point the feet. So this is what the bottom looks like, and what it looks like when it's sitting down and about to roll. And what you do is you hold this thing right here on the end, and you push it, and it rolls. And you'll be very happy with the performance of it too. And it does proved to be very fun, especially when you chase it with the pretend boga that came with the set. Yep, it did not come with a boga, unlike the original. So, at this point, I'd like to show you the original wheel bike, as do most of the sets. I actually have to show you the original versions of most of the new sets. I'm pretty sure almost all of them, except for the battle packs, I've shown you some older versions that compare to the newer ones. This one, the only thing I really like that's better, there are actually two things that I like. The wheels themselves are printed, and they do look really cool with that blue. This one needs a little bit more blue, and could have been used in a few places. But also the leg pieces right here, I really like the way that looks, and that it kind of looks like it was designed for this set. So that's what that looks like, and the cockpit is missing on this one, so sorry about that. But here it is, this set. Altogether looks really good. I'm very happy with it, and I hope you will be too when you go out and decide to get this one, because this one is my favorite of the 4 $25 sets. Hope you liked the review, and before I go, I would like to show you the box, like I do every time. Here's Obi-Wan Kenobi with absolutely no weapon in the corner here, but containing a blaster and a Magna Guard staff here. The opposite side, and you see Grievous fighting him, and Obi-Wan's about to shoot him down. And I always like the corner picture at the top right. That one looks pretty cool. He's going down the side of the Utapau building, or whatever that thing is. That cave sort of thing. Here are the instructions, same as the cover. And I like to show you this like I do every time, and they switch it up a bit. Instead of in the first and third bag like some of them, most of them do, it has Obi-Wan in the first bag and Grievous in the second. So if you wanted to know which bags to get those in, there you go. And real quick, I need to show you the original Grievous from 2005 with his fancy cape. And for the minifig rating, the only thing that would make the minifig rating like absolutely perfect, I would have given it a 9 if Grievous came with a cape, which would have been fabulous. So thanks for watching the review. Check out my other reviews to see which one you'd like to get, or just check out my channel for anything you'd like to see on mine. See you next time, and goodbye.